At this plate stage, we must also be critical because these birds are growing the bone formation. The skeleton is growing up. You ensure that you put feeders on the right height, and the feeder should be exactly the same height as the eye of the bird, because when it is moving, it has to move straight and see the feed, because they shouldn't move just vagantly. As they see the feed, they will eat. Then also the water at this time should be on the level of the beak, because when the bird bends to drink the water, coming out the water falls down. So you raise the feeder up to when the bird is drinking, it just straight goes straight. In Africa or in any other country, we have what we call indigenous birds. But today people have started calling them local birds, and I don't like that. Calling a bird a local bird. Because when you say local, it means it will just wake up, go around, look for water, look for food in any way. You don't know if it has eaten, if it has fed. You just wake up and you think you have birds. No. Here we are saying we must feed our indigenous birds. We want to get the best out of them. This is what we're going to call commercial indigenous farming. So if you have these your birds and you call them indigenous, okay, that sounds a bit romantic. Indigenous, local, no, local, no. So let us say our indigenous birds, how I would feed them. The feeding of indigenous birds. So this feeding, of course, they eat like any other birds. However, for them, they are indigenous. They don't go into those extras of feeds. What you do, what I want to advise you, we're going to give these feeds in four phases. That is, number one is the starter stage. Then we have grower. Then of course we have the plate stage. Then the pre-layer. These stages of feeding, usually they are all necessary because our birds need to grow, need to have the energy, and need also to prepare the formation of bones. So in this stage of starter, it's when we put our whole energy. Once you start badly, the birds will never thrive. So in this starter stage, we have a lot of protein in it. Because we're looking at growth, the protein content, protein in Africa or in Uganda, here where I'm making this video from, we usually get from, our protein comes from soya bean, then of course from silverfish, which we call mukene or omena, silverfish. Then we also have partly those who use concentrates. There is protein. The concentrates are sold in shops whereby there's a lot of protein in that. So here we are saying it is better you give 20% protein at this stage when they are growing. When they are starting to grow, give them 20%. In fact, usually, if it's like maybe broiler, you can give up 35%, but these local birds, give them up 20%. How do I mean? If you have 20 kilograms of silverfish or 20 kilograms of soya bean, you need to mix with 100 kilograms of maize bran. But for better growth, we need to encourage you to have 30% maize. 30% maize here. Let me just write in like this. 30% is maize, then 70% is maize bran, 70% bran. So you say that it's going to be 70 kilograms of maize bran, then 30 kilograms of maize. That we call it broken maize. That means in 20 kilograms of soybean or silverfish, depending on what you get by you, nearly, you put in this 100 mixture of maize bran and broken maize. So here, because we are doing our indigenous birds, I don't encourage you to go for silverfish. It has become so expensive. Or mukene, or mena. It's not very expensive. Actually, today the government of Uganda said that we need to harvest or to fish this silverfish once in a while, not every time. They are gazetting some days because it is food for fish. It is food for Nile perch. So if we remove it, the Nile perch does not grow. And the Nile perch has a lot of money. It has what we call enoni. And this enoni is used to make many activities. It has many products out of it. So we cannot finish silverfish from the lake. So we go for our soya bean. So here protein, we say we have, on protein we have soya, then silverfish, of course some concentrates. This starter stage goes from 0 days up to 8 weeks. This is the time you provide the heat to your chicks if you're having many chicks. But if you are starting, ensure that the mother bird, the hen, is with the chicks. Of course, we are saying you start with what you have. If you started with one bird, ensure that these 8 weeks, the mother is near. If you cannot give the mother, give them the fire, give them the heat. Or if you have a priest, give them the bulb that is at least 60 watts. That brings the warmth. So we are saying now we go to grower stage from 8 weeks up to 12 weeks. At this grower stage, we reduce our protein a little, not much, but we reduce a little. So here we say, if they have been eating 20% here, 20% protein, but we go up to 21%, we can reduce up to 18% of this feed. What do I mean by 18%? If you have been giving them soya bean 20 kilograms in 100 kilograms, or maybe you said I'm going to make my maize brand 10 kilograms, so you need only 2 kilograms of soya bean. 2 kilograms of soya bean, if they go to this stage of grower, you now make 1.8 kilograms. 1.8 is 1 kilogram and 80 grams. So which means you don't reach 2 kilograms. That is what we call 1.8 kilograms of the protein content. They need more energy. Here you increase the maize a little. You increase the maize. Instead of putting 30%, you can put 35 or 40. Then you reduce on the maize bran, you make it 60. If it is 100 kilograms, you say now 40 kilograms of broken maize and now 60 kilograms of maize bran. That makes it 100%. If you're making 10 kilograms with maybe you are one bird or one hen, you make 4 kilograms of maize, then 6 kilograms of maize bran, so that you make 40% maize, so that is more energy. That is like a grower stage, and this one will last. Of course, this is like grower, it will last from 8 weeks to 12 weeks. Now we have this stage, the plate stage, of 12 weeks to 18 weeks. We are looking at our local birds, or the indigenous birds, as if they are layers, because I want to prove you right or prove you wrong. That if you feed your local birds, your indigenous birds, they will lay at 5 months. They will. There's nothing that can stop a bird that is eating protein, that it cannot be stopped from laying. So here we are now at 12 to 18 weeks. So we said, let me write these things properly. We are at the grower stage. Starter stage is 0 to 8 weeks. Grower is 8 to 12 weeks. Then we have plate stage, which is 12, 18 weeks. At this stage, this is a little bit critical. When you wake up and you see your chicks are jumping, of course at this stage, they have gotten feathers, they wake up. You know, I really like them when they're at this stage. They're like, I call them scouts. It wakes up, it wants to jump on the feeder, wants to jump on the drinker, wants to jump everywhere. When they don't jump on you, they start coming towards at you. You don't fear people so much, the feathers have grown, so they have a lot of work. At this plate stage, we must also be political. Because these birds are growing, the bone formation, the skeleton is growing up. You ensure that you put feeders on the right height. And the feeder should be exactly the same height as the eye of the bird. Because once it is eating, when it is moving, it has to move straight and see the feed. Because they shouldn't move just vagrantly. As they see the feed, they will eat. Then also the water at this time should be on the level of the beak. Because when the bird bends to drink the water, coming out, the water falls down. So you raise the feeder up to when the bird is drinking, it just straight goes tree. So that's what we call proper placing of feeders and drinkers. Because this stage, the plate stage, the productive system of the whole hen grows here. Plate stage, once you mess up, you never get eggs. By the way, you know a bird, a local bird, indigenous bird can lay up to 400 eggs. Because these are birds that are indigenous, nothing added. We usually say it is a proper indigenous, no sugar added. Because this is naturally made. Once you feed it properly with these our organic feeds, that is silverfish, maize bran, and of course maybe bones and shells, it will give you eggs. We go to pre-layer stage. At this stage, there's something which I usually like. The males and the females must be separated here. But there's this condition whereby it is natural, even if they were human beings. It's that natural urge that this is my girlfriend. If you're in secondary school, remember in senior two, this is the stage of senior two, I think. Secondary school, senior two, whereby you book girlfriends around, book boyfriends. So here the males, they start booking the girlfriends. They stop eating, you can imagine. These ones, the females grow as the males are not growing. So you have to separate them because that affection, the social affection, the male will try to avoid eating, and of course, starts like, let me not eat a lot. Also, let me spare for my sweetheart. You can imagine these things that are natural. So when the bird does not eat, it doesn't grow. So at this time, at this stage, we encourage that we separate the males from the females, so that also the males can grow. And once they grow, of course, it becomes the other way around. They start beating the females in the future. But for now, if you don't separate them, the females will grow and the males will not grow. And because we need to grow the farm, we say the principle is you must have 5 hens with 1 cock. Now, if you don't have your cocks to grow, how will you get the males? So at this stage, it's very critical to separate them. And then you wait for the egg. You start preparing the laying boxes. Because anytime, we are now at around 20 weeks. We are waiting for the egg. Anytime you see the first egg. So this is the feeding formula. We have a grower, we have a starter. I said 0 to 8 weeks. Grower, age 12 weeks. Then the plate stage, 12 to 18 weeks. Then we have pre-layer, 18 weeks to 20 weeks. Then we're waiting for the egg. So this is cut-ups. Surely, if you started with one bird, I told you in December I made a video how to make 300 birds, how to get 300 birds from 20 females and 5 cocks. What is the challenge? I've given you the feeding formula. If you started this January, it means now you are having fast laying stage, because we said you buy the already laying eggs or the already to lay birds. If you bought them, I've given you the feeding formula, preparing for the chicks which are coming up. So never say never. Time is now. Let's start. And the future is now, not tomorrow. Many farmers have a challenge of local birds or indigenous birds not drinking water. Alone if you have that in your area. For them, they may go out drinking water the whole day. And that becomes a very big problem in terms of vaccination because they will not be vaccinated. And that's actually, I've been asked the question, how can we treat our birds? Many times, how can we treat a bird from dying? Because they are not vaccinated. So I will give you another video about how to vaccinate the local birds. Vaccination schedule. Here we are saying how to train your local birds to drink water. Bird's egg is about 60%, 75% water. And that is why it is very nutritious. It has water, it has calcium, it has protein, it has every content, energy, vitamins, and of course, once you train your birds to drink water, there's nothing that can stop you from having eggs. Train them, drink the water. Also, if it is possible, add the premixes or add the vitamins. We have to make this a commercial farm. And we need to get, and again, because we're going to get eggs at this layer stage, we need the yellow yolk. Never forget this yellow yolk thing, because it is the 5% trick which people don't tell you. If you have yellow yolk eggs are different from local eggs. You can have a local bird with normal eggs like 4. exotic birds. So introduce in greens. So, and I think I cannot fail to mention some of the greens that are necessary for the yellow yolk. The formation of yellow yolk, you need greens like dodo or amaranthus. It's a very good plant because it grows very fast and the seeds are everywhere. So if you plant it, if you can't eat the whole of it, give it to your birds. Sukuma wiki. Of course, today this word is not in dictionary. It's in the dictionary because it has been used so much time, maybe for by Kenyans, I think, and Tanzanians. This plant, sukuma wiki, has become so famous. If you give it to your birds, expect yellow yolk. And of course, there's this, my friend, Russian comfrey. Russian comfrey is a very good weed. It grows very fast. 1 week you cut, 1 week it is grown. So these are the supplements that will give you. You can give them cabbage. Of course, I said Russian comfrey. Any plant that you get, give it to your birds. And remember, it is just a supplement. Please don't make it a whole meal. Don't make it the main course. It is just a supplement. And once you give them before they eat, they will not eat the feed. And once they have not eaten, they will not grow. We are saying we must have our birds in 5 months laying. Because we are targeting 300 birds in just 12 months. From 20 birds, 20 hens, and 5 cocks. So, see you next time.